So I'll try to, okay, it's 10:11. I'll yes, yes, you got it. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم أرنا الحق حقا يلا say that you are about to say اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه اللهم آمين يا رب العالمين. So this morning we were having some sort of halaqa with some young fellows overseas in America, right? We were reading some book of Allah, and just now I came across. You might have heard this story. You might be thinking that this story is old story, but this is not the old story. It is actually a new story by the Sheikh Muhammad al-Arifi, right? And I'm going to run that story shortly with you guys because this identical story happened a few years back when he was visiting Dr. Sheikh Muhammad al-Arifi. He's one of the Sheikh in Arab media, in Arab world, in Saudi. He's from Saudi. He's one of the big scholar. I follow him a lot, and actually he's sort of Dr. Zakir Naik or Mufti Mank, that like those sort of people. This is sort of person he always hang around with those people. So he's a da'i and he's a big scholar and big sheikh. And this would be my question after sharing this story. When we born Muslim and your fathers, your parents, they always brought you guys here. When we witnessed all these things are happening overseas, including the floods and the wars and all these troubles and things, and we are in tranquility and all this easy going, but your fathers, and they always bring you here, and these young brothers, they organize all these things for you guys, right? So you guys have some sort of exposure with the Quran and the Sunnah and the biography of the Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and all those sort of things and the facilities of this beautiful mosque. And you guys have a bit of a better exposure, and maybe you guys know Arabic, a little bit of the Arabic too. This person, he was visiting a few years back, many years back actually. I was sharing the story maybe 10 years back, and he has some people, they were doing the outside of the university in New Zealand. They were priests and all these people, they were doing this, their services, da'wah sort of thing. And this Sheikh Muhammad Arifi came and he done the exactly same thing. And after many years, he ended up in Holland and exactly same sort of a conversation. Result is a bit different. So I'll go for the second latest story. And he was saying he was in Germany, in Holland, right? And he would not be able to speak with their language, but in one of the masjid, they always, in our masajid, they always have the translator. So there was a translator with him who would be able to speak their language. I'm not sure, the Holland Dutch or whatever. So there, he has someone who was translating, and he said we were about to hit the end of the halaqa and end of the talk, and we were about to proceed for our Maghrib prayer. So he said, I saw it was only half an hour left, and obviously 10 minutes before you let people go, so make the wudu or all this things get ready for the Maghrib. And we all know that Maghrib prayer, yeah, the people, they rush. And he said, I saw a person half an hour before I was about to the end of the thing, and he came from the masjid. He stopped walking, and he sat exactly in a front row in front of me. He said, I was giving this talk, and I was thinking, probably he'll be asking me a question soon. And he said, the time goes by, and he was just sitting there. And every time I look at him, and he's staring at me, nothing. And when 10 minutes, I was about to conclude, and 10 minutes left, and this is he was thinking, I'm going to conclude. And he raised hand. Before he was waiting, that if he has any question, he said, oh, sorry, now it's too late. So we have to go for the Maghrib prayer. So I cannot take any questions. And he said to the translator, he said, no, I don't have the question. I just wanted to share something, but it's all good. He said, when they translated to Sheikh Muhammad Arif, he said, oh, so why he raised the hand? And he said, oh, I don't want to ask question because I'm not even a Muslim. And then he said, when he told me that he's not even a Muslim, I said, yeah, I offered him, just making a space. He said, I offered him to come and sit here with me and ask me whatever he said. He let him sit, and he sat next to him, and he said, what you after? He said, I grown up Christian, and I'm a Christian basically, but I'm not happy because of two reasons. He said, what those reasons are? He said, number one, they collect money from our accounts and all this charity, this and that, and they become a millionaires. Some of the heads, and I know that they become a millionaires, and they don't spend money honestly, and they can't be the spokesperson in between us and the Allah. They can't be right people. And the second thing is, he said, what's second? He said, second one is that they have, wherever we go, we have the statues of Isa alayhi salam. And so this is not our religion. So I don't want to worship the idols. So it is sort of an idol, but they don't say this is the idol, but this is to me it's a statue. Sheikh Muhammad Arifi, he was impressed. He said, "Oh, both of them very legit thing, because one, he started reading the Quran and said, actually this mentioned the Quran that some of them, they take the people, like the country of the ayah is that the people's money get corrupt, they do the corruption, and obviously they do the shirk. Both things were right. And he said, okay, let me ask you, Uh, and what is coming in the story, this experiment, he already tried with many people, including the original one was many years before, which I might have shared with other people about 10 years, 10 plus years before in New Zealand. So he tried the same thing with this person too. He said, do you know Arabic language? He said, no. He said, do you have any friend from Arab? He said, no. And then he said, newspaper or any interactions, and now, but he only remember once he was with some Tunisi guy in a taxi, and the taxi would not start, and he said, say Bismillah, and I literally say Bismillah, I all know this word, and it would start. So he said, beside that, I do not know anything, and I even do not know what does that mean, and I do not know anything about Arabic. Anyway, he said, I'll give you um, two things I'm going to recite. So you tell me what's the difference. He said, yeah. He said, I'll give you first phrase and the second phrase. First was I wanted to run that phrase of, just give me a second so you know exactly, because that would be amazing if I run that one. So you will be actually in this story. كنت في النصارى قلت أنت إيطالي غريب أنك تأتي لا يأكلون أموال الجيب. أتكلم معك الآن
أو إيطالي ما يمكن. قال طيب. فقلت.
Okay. So he said the two phrases, right? So listen carefully. Listen carefully. That's the whole exercise, what we are going through. So I'll run these first phrase and the second phrase, and then I'll complete the story. So he is about to recite the first and then the second.
ذكر رحمة ربك عبده زكريا إذ نادى ربه نداء خفيا قال رب إني وهن العظم مني واشتعل الرأس شيبا ولم أكن بدعائك رب شقيا وإني خفت الموالي من ورائي وكانت امرأتي عاقرا فهب لي من لدنك وليا يرثني ويرث من آل يعقوب واجعله رب رضيا. قلت هذه الجملة الأولى. قال طيب.
So he recited the first phrase and he said, this is number one. So he said, I'll be running the second one now. So did you hear the first one? Okay. Now the second one.
طبعا المترجم يترجم له بالألماني مباشرة. يترجم له هذه الجملة الأولى. سمعتها؟ قال سمعتها. فهمت شيء ما فهمت شيء. قلت طيب خذ.
Now he's asking the translator. He said, "Do you understand?" He said, "Understand." You heard it. He heard it. Acknowledged, right? Now he 1 second. Now he is going to say the second one.
الجملة الثانية. قال نعم. فقلت ذهب أحمد إلى السوق واشترى تفاحا ثم ركب الأتوبيس ثم رجع إلى شقته وجئت بكلام من عندي وتغنيت به كتأثير.
So he's Arab. He understood already. So that's why he's laughing. Obviously, the first one was from the Surah Maryam, and the second one was he it is a plain language that about a story of an apple, and he went here and there. So then he said, are these two same thing? And this person, he was so excited and said, no. And exactly the people in New Zealand, they say the same thing. And here they said, no. They said the first one, which was obviously the Quran, he said, it is from Lord. And the second one was something normal. He does not know a word of Arabic, but he could differentiate. One is the Kalam Allah, the word of our Lord, and the second one is he almost recited in the same way, but it's not even penetrating the heart. It's like casual thing. Then he said, do you know, this was from our book Quran, and he explained this, and he said, do you think that this is the word of Allah? Yes. He said, would you take the Shahada? 1 second, wait. And then he took the Shahada. He became Muslim right there and then. Then they were rushing because the Maghrib was happening. And then they held back by the upstairs sisters. They said, there's a message. Yeah, we want to rush for this. He said, there are 4 ladies upstairs from Holland, and they want to become Muslim. So they took Shahada. So they said, Sheikh Muhammad Arif, he was saying that we prayed, and upon completion of my the Maghrib prayer, he said from one of the person from the management, he told him that a person, he was just standing, a 20 years old boy, he was just standing, a young fellow, I should not be saying this boy, an adult. He was standing at the footstep of the masjid, just staring at them. They said, why are you not joining? He said, oh, I'm not Muslim, I was just looking. He said, yeah, just come and join the prayer. You still can pray. He prayed. Upon completion, he said, how did you feel? He said, I feel tranquility. It's nice, peaceful. He said, would you take the Shahada? It's the 6th one in one sitting. 6 people, he said, within 2 hours, became Muslim. And Sheikh Muhammad Arif, he said, I was surprised. He said to this management, like 6 people. He said, yeah, it's inshallah, Sheikh, it's normal here. He said, what do you mean? He said, official statistic in 2006, he said until now, like there were 4,000 registered Muslim that were registered, and the unofficial number would be at least 10 times more than that. So there are many, many Muslims, they converted, even though you guys know, even here too. A lot of people, I saw your hand, I'll give you a chance. So basically, a lot of people, they becoming Muslim. The question gonna be for you that initially I asked you guys that all of us, including me, not only you, we born Muslim. We've been listening the Quranic stories and the Quran and the Sirah and the biography and the exposure with the mosque and this and this and this and all those things. Why all this feeling is not happening to us? This is what we're going to be discussing, and I hope you're going to be telling me about that. And one thing we really want to know that we need to figure it out together. What's missing? Like, are we lost planet or something missing? I saw his hand first, so I'll give him a chance first. Yes, Mirabeta, you go ahead. Can you call the video again? I didn't hear it. Okay, you want to hear both of them again? Yeah. Okay, sure. Okay, we'll just go through this audio again. So
مثل ما بعض الناس اليوم العرب لو تتكلم مثلا الماني او فرنسي ما يدري هذا الماني ولا فرنسي، او ايطالي ما يدري. صح الانجليزي قد يعرفه الكثير لكن ما يقدر يفرق بين اللغات. قل طيب انا ساعطيك جملتين بالعربي. هذه قد عملتها مع قسيسه مره في نيوزيلندا واعدتها معه. قلت ساعطيك جملتين بالعربي، اريدك ان تكتشف الفرق بينهما. قال نعم. قلت اسمع جيدا. قال طيب. فقلت ذكر رحمة ربك عبده زكريا إذ نادى ربه نداء خفيا قال رب إني وهن العظم مني واشتعل الرأس شيبا ولم أكن بدعائك رب شقيا وإني خفت الموالي من ورائي وكانت امرأتي عاقرا فهب لي من لدنك وليا يرثني ويرث من آل يعقوب واجعله رب رضيا. قلت هذه الجملة الأولى. قال طيب. طبعا المترجم يترجم له بالألماني مباشرة. يترجم له هذه الجملة الأولى. سمعتها؟ قال سمعتها. فهمت شيء؟ ما فهمت شيء. قلت طيب خذ الجملة الثانية. قال نعم. فقلت ذهب أحمد إلى السوق واشترى تفاحا ثم ركب الأتوبيس ثم رجع إلى شقته وجئت بكلام من عندي وتغير.
Got it? Okay. So who raised hand? You? Yeah.
So what I think, like, we can't really feel something, like, Muslims, I think we're taking the fact that we're Muslim as granted. We're not taking it seriously. As non-Muslims, they convert to Islam, they felt the difference because they lived so long not being Muslim, and they were surprised, and they were thankful. But we take it for granted. Like, one, you don't have to do anything, or you're going to teach us, so they don't really take the idea seriously or anything seriously, so they don't feel the tranquility.
Very good. So is it really 100% we're gonna be? Is it guaranteed that we're gonna get to the Jannah, or where's the like? I want to figure it out where the flaws is. Like, why? What you guys think, boys? Or let me put this way: can we fix it? Can we fix it? Is it a worry thing? Is it a concern? Like something not happening to us? As he said, young fellow, he is actually, he hammered it. It's right. So it's a concern or not? That what happens in the world, who cares? We're gonna live the way it is. It's for the granted. We're gonna go to the Jannah anyway. This is if this sort of a mindset. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
responsible? The Prophet would be responsible?
Prophet would be responsible. He done the job, gone. Now we are responsible.
No, he's saying like at that time were prophets responsible.
At that time,
Were prophets responsible?
yeah, all these prophets, they were having they were assigned duties, so they done their job. They're gone, and now we have the books, so we know their teachings. All we have to do to learn and apply, right? So the question is, if it doesn't, if it is not happening to our heart, so it means